Today, we're diving into a hot topic that's been shaking the gaming world over the past few days. The $80 price tag on Nintendo Switch 2 games. Yeah, you heard that right. $80 for a single game. Is Nintendo out of touch? Or are we just not seeing the full picture here? Stick around because we're going to break it all down. The reasoning behind the price hike, the community's response, and what Nintendo's been saying about it all. This is one of those episodes you don't want to miss. Alright, so first, let's set the stage. Nintendo officially revealed the Switch 2, and the buzz has been non-stop. We're talking improved hardware, a bigger and better screen, those redesigned Joy-Cons that hopefully don't drift after 2 weeks, and a more powerful chipset that brings it a lot closer to PS5 and Xbox Series X territory. Sounds like a solid upgrade, right? Well, here's the kicker. With great power comes a greater price tag. The base model Switch 2 clocks in at $449.99, but what really raised eyebrows was the announcement that some games, most notably Mario Kart World, would be launching at $79.99. That's a big jump from the $59.99 we've gotten used to for years, even for first-party titles. Let's talk about the immediate reaction. Predictably, fans were not thrilled. Social media blew up with comments. And look, I get it. Gaming isn't a cheap hobby, and with inflation hitting everything from rent to groceries, an extra $10 or $20 per game can make a real difference. But Nintendo has gone on record to explain why they're doing this. Let's dig into their side of the story. Bowser. We want to make sure this is a device that consumers will see as part of their overall entertainment experience, with longevity and quality at the forefront. Translation? They're banking on the Switch 2 being a premium product, and they're pricing accordingly. But what about the games? Why the jump to $80? Nintendo's Bill Trinen, VP of Product and Player Experience, weighed in during a recent Q&A. The cost of everything goes up over time. Building a new system with new tech means there are costs associated with that. Okay, so basically, inflation, development costs, and hardware upgrades. But here's the interesting part. Nintendo isn't committing to $80 across the board. They're calling this a case-by-case approach. That means not every game will launch at $80, and they'll be evaluating pricing based on the scale and scope of each title. Think of it like how Nintendo priced The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom at $69.99 on the Switch 1, while other games still released at $59.99. They're doing the same thing here, just shifting the whole range up a bit. And to be fair, game development has gotten way more expensive. AAA games today can cost hundreds of millions to make, especially with longer dev cycles, massive teams, and next-gen visuals. Nintendo may not be going full photorealistic like Sony or Microsoft Studios, but they're still producing premium content that isn't cheap. A lot of Switch 2 manufacturing is happening in Vietnam. And as of now, the US has slapped a 46% tariff on certain electronics imported from that region. Nintendo hasn't outright said, "Hey, we're passing this cost on to you," but it's heavily implied. If you're wondering, wait, wouldn't that mostly affect the hardware? Yes, but it can impact software too, depending on how bundled SKUs are structured and how those costs are absorbed. Analysts are already reacting. DFC Intelligence originally projected 17 million units sold by the end of 2025. They've now revised that to 15 million, citing potential price sensitivity from consumers. And this isn't just a US issue. Canadian gamers almost got a head start on pre-orders, but Nintendo pulled back at the last second, likely fearing US customers would flood Canadian retailers to avoid US pricing and stock issues. Bottom line, Nintendo's trying to juggle a lot: higher development and production costs, global logistics, regional regulations, and consumer expectations. And yeah, it's a mess. So, what should we expect? Realistically, $80 games aren't going away. But they won't be the rule either. Nintendo seems committed to value-based pricing, which means they know they can't price every game that high and expect people to just accept it. Nintendo's been through price hikes before. The jump from NES to SNES, GameCube to Wii U, each generation had its challenges. But one thing's always remained true. If the games are good, people show up. So here's the big question. Will $80 games actually sell? If Mario Kart World ends up being a system seller and it delivers that same Nintendo magic, a lot of people might just bite the bullet. But if quality doesn't match the price, that's when the backlash will really matter. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Is $80 justifiable if the game is amazing? Or are you planning to wait for price drops and bundle deals? Smash that like button if you enjoyed this breakdown, and subscribe if you want more updates and deep dives like this. We're keeping a close eye on Nintendo this year. It's going to be a wild ride. Until next time, keep gaming, keep questioning, and as always, stay awesome.